Good afternoon. We're going to get started. Just 1 second. But while we do, just wanted to remind you of our chat box feature. If you hover your cursor over the screen menu there, you're going to see it under More. When you click on More, there's an opportunity there to state your questions or interact in any way you'd like to. We also would really ask if you wouldn't mind just letting us know where you're viewing from, okay? So let's get started by getting everybody to state where they're viewing. It's pretty amazing. Some days we have people from very far away, and sometimes it's just us local Torontonians. So that to us is very interesting to see where we're reaching into. Okay, so we are going to get started. Welcome to Staging Secrets on a Shoestring Budget. And this webinar is very, very practical application. And I hope you're going to find that you have a lot of great tips and tricks, because you can do a lot ahead of time. Whether or not you're planning to sell your home, it can be a wonderful exercise to just lighten and brighten your home. And we all could use that these days, can't we? Having to be shut down and inside so much lately. So let's get started. My name is Sharon Parento. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams, and we developed this series of seminars in person and then transferred them all to webinars. We've been meeting in local community centers and libraries and just gathering people together to let them know some of the information that I've been acquiring over my years as a realtor, because I really do believe in the power of education, that by helping you, you're going to make terrific decisions when the time is right for you. So it's one thing I really love doing. It's one of my passions is coming from contribution, and that's the intention here. Not a sales job, just to let you know some good information about market realities, because many of my clients are first time in a long time sellers. So lots has changed, and staging is definitely part of that, okay? So let's begin. Oh, look at that happy staged couple. Introduction, we are going to just review some of what we covered last week, because this is the second part, but we're going to go through that a little more quickly, just to make sure that we cover the bases for those of you who weren't able to be with us. And you're going to see that staging is not real life, and it is really about creating an impression in the mind's eye of your buyers. And we want to make sure that we are targeting your property to the correct demographic, which is usually not the same as the demographic of the seller. So keeping that in mind, we're also going to end with some very practical hands-on suggestions for you and things that you can be doing ahead of time. Like I said, just to lighten and brighten. You don't have to be in the process of getting your house ready to sell. It can just be for your own enjoyment of your space. So, sorry, Harold, but the board says you don't go with the whole aesthetic of the building. Yes, he's wearing flowers and plaid. And I know that that's what my clients fear. When we talk about staging, they feel like somehow this is a criticism of their style, or that we are going to pull out all their furniture and you know, that it's just a big kind of judgment situation. But it's not. That's not the purpose. The purpose is you have your style, but we want to make sure that your home is broadly appealing and is reflecting the current trends. Now, none of us has the budget to go out and reflect trends as they change every 5 minutes. So that's the job of the stager, is that they're bringing in both a classic and modern type of luxury feel. Because I don't know about you, but a lot of the furniture that I have in my home, I probably wouldn't repurchase. It just is here, it's functional, it's serviceable, but even our tastes change, but we just really don't feel like we can justify chucking out the old and bringing in the new. So a stager can do is the basis of our overall marketing plan, and there is only one goal that justifies their existence, and that is a faster sale for more money. This isn't designed to be a make work project. This is designed to be a make money project when it comes time for selling. So we can only work with the images that your home can supply to us. And that's why we do really emphasize creating these wonderful pictures by staging the home. So staging is the first building block, but there are many along the road. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So staging is an essential element of any overall marketing campaign, because your home is going to be presented online in the MLS pictures that you see here. That's what we're looking at. Then we also have property brochures, or maybe we have postcards, or increasingly important right now has been social media marketing. So we always want to make sure that your home really presents well in a variety of still and moving pictures. So let's just see what this is all about here, okay? Sorry, it's a bit loud. So we use this we used this property as a case study last time of a property that had been listed with another agent for almost a year and did not sell. And when we took over the listing, we were able to do a very specific comparison between the way it had been marketed and the way that we marketed it. And obviously, you know, the end of the story is that we were able to sell in a much quicker time, a matter of several weeks, rather than having been on the market for many, many months. So this is why we need to start with the basics of having a very well prepared home. Preparation is something that we kind of work on together so that I can do promotion. And that's really what you're hiring me for, to be your realtor. Okay, so one of the things that's really super important is that we take our homes, which, you know, we live in, we enjoy, but we don't really look at it as if we were going to go around and photograph each of our rooms, right? Like that's crazy. But when we are getting your house ready for sale, we really want to emphasize it being light and bright. Okay, that is one of the key principles of staging. So whatever you can do to lighten and brighten your home is going to give you a better end result with the picture. So same room. We've obviously swapped out some of the furniture, removed others entirely. And this is pretty much the far end of staging. This is where we're actually bringing in quite a bit of furniture. Most of the time we don't typically do that, but because this was such a high priced property, we really felt it was worth the time and effort and money. Okay, so their possessions went into storage, and we brought in something that was going to be appealing to a younger buyer, and also to kind of neutralize the amount of wood that was in the space, because after a while it was just overwhelmingly wood. And that's not the current fashion. That's not the current trend. So we wanted to show how the same building block could be repurposed for something with a new aesthetic. So we also want to really increase the spaciousness of your property online. Usually that is accomplished by a heavy editing of the furniture. I'm just going to show you again another example. We didn't actually take out that much, but what we did made a huge difference. Again, This is a property that was listed for sale with another agent and did not sell. Then we got the job and we took that from that to that. And you can see that by doing something as basic as swapping out the pattern bedspread, it immediately transforms it from being something that looks quite dated and dark and pulled in to something that is light and bright and open. Even something as simple as opening up the curtains or getting rid of the dark TV that really pulled our eye to it. Like, TVs are ugly. They're never an attractive accessory in a home, and especially in a bedroom where we're trying to create this haven of rest, right? So we did do that. You'll also notice that we pulled back a bit in our view. And so my photographer, it took me a long time to find a good real estate photographer. He really was able to capture the room and overall make it look quite a bit bigger. So that's what we're aiming for, is creating spaciousness, because it's going to make your home look like a better deal in a sense, right? People are always wanting to get as much as their money can possibly buy. Here's another example of that same principle of increasing the spaciousness. This was a tiny, teeny, tiny townhouse. I'm sorry the image is so blurry, but it had a huge black sectional sofa that kind of cut it right in half, and you had to shimmy past it to get to the office area. We took that out, we put it in the garage, and we pulled down 2 armchairs from other bedrooms and set up a TV area. So the function is still there, but it's not so crowded in. And plus, people can walk through now without being obstructed by this big, heavy leather sofa. Black is always such a key element of design, that it is so dominant visually that it tends to bring in the walls, so to speak. Now, this other one here is an example of what not to do. We are breaking some of my particular staging rules here. Number one, we have the heavy swags over the curtains, which is blocking out a fair amount of light. I would take those down. Second thing is, we've got 1 sofa too many. And because we have 2 matching love seats, I would take out the beige one. I would also open up the shears to show the gardens that are beyond in this picture that are just absolutely lovely. So we're going to remove all of the little occasional. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 occasional tables in that picture. And there's a certain, sorry, there's no way of saying this politely. There's a certain age and stage that loves their occasional chairs and loves their occasional tables. It's like the entire Bombay company was kept in a business with occasional tables. We don't need them. They are kind of visual clutter. And so this room would look so much bigger if we just did those 3 simple things. Take down the swag, open up the shears, get rid of the extra couch, and minimize the number of tables. So this is the identical layout of a property across the street that we sold. And we sold theirs for $17,000 more. Like it was a $900,000 townhouse in Thornhill, and one goes on one day for one price, and another goes on another day for another price. Yeah, $17,000 more. Okay, so I don't know about you, but if somebody handed me a check for $17,000, I'd feel like I had won the lottery. So we were talking about this. I have a service repairman supposed to be coming to fix my washing machine at 2 o'clock, and he is calling me right now. Oh my goodness. I'm going to just have to let it ring and go to message. So we obviously aren't going to be taking photographs of your dining room with people assembling furniture and all kinds of stuff in it. But what's really important is that we want to make sure that we are tightening up the footprint that your furniture makes, and getting it to allow people to walk through. I'm going to show you another example of that. Oh no, I'm not. So we kind of made that point before about allowing the agent and the clients to be able to walk through without any obstruction, and making sure that key features like a bow window or a walk out to a patio are not blocked in any way. So here is an example of another property that was listed with a different agent, and this is how they showed one of the bedrooms. Now, that's well and good under duress, but if you have the opportunity to restore the function of a bedroom that you're using as an office back to being a bedroom, you can see that it's just so much more appealing, that there is people's imaginations are not that strong typically, and we can just see how much more appealing having the bedroom as a bedroom is. And in this case, this is a fake bed that we used. It is literally an air mattress on milk cartons, and we drape it with like a bed skirt or an oversized sheet, like a king size sheet, and then we dress it as a bed. But you'll see there's no headboard there, and we're just using big oversized cushions as a headboard, so that we took this bedroom back to being a bedroom, because people are looking for a 4-bedroom house. So we want to show 4 bedrooms. Sometimes we can get away with having one of the smaller bedrooms as an office or whatever, but we try really hard to get it back to a bedroom. So again, with the function, this was a junk room, and I think some of us have one. You notice that I have a virtual background. I'm kind of in my junk room / office. We want to, again, show it as a bedroom. Especially in this house, it was only a 3-bedroom house, so we really wanted to restore the function of the 3rd bedroom. And this was, again, an air mattress on milk cartons, and a lot of things for my youngest daughter's room. So I like that story because she came home and all of her tchotchkes were taken to our listing in Newmarket. So there we go. We want to make sure the function shows as function. And if you have bonus space like a den or a finished basement, those are important too, because those are value added aspects to your property. Those are things that if they were just dead space, people would miss the value of them. So in the case of this little desk here, it was really just an oversized hallway that transitioned from 1 bedroom to the bathroom, but we wanted to make sure that we showed it having a purpose other than just, pure storage. Same thing with the basement, having a home theater. That's a big deal. We want to show that off to its best, in its best light. Okay, so feeling, that is really a big deal of what staging does, is that it creates a feeling. We are going to see an example of a before and an after, and they engender very different responses. It's very short, but it might be loud. So just beware of the audio, okay? So that little 10-second teaser shows where we took Grandma's Cozy Cottage. It was a condo in Agincourt that a friend of mine's grandmother owned. And we transformed it so that we were literally taking away the crocheted, oh, there it is. Okay, there's my, I cannot believe that my in the middle of my Zoom call, Unionville Appliance is calling me. So they said between 2 and 5, and it's neither 2 nor 5. So anyways, I'm just gonna have to block it for now. And we wanna make sure that we're creating this wow. That's really the feeling we're aiming for. And I don't know about you, but I am not living in very much wow right now. I would say that if you take wow and you turn it upside down, I'm more like mom. My house looks like mom. It doesn't look like wow. So we wanted to see if we can't change that around, okay? Next slide, sorry. Okay, so thank you there. So let's get down to brass tacks. I really want to make sure that you have some practical takeaways. And these are things, oh my gosh, I'm going to just have to stop. Hello, this is Sharon speaking. Yes? 2 o'clock, please. I'm sorry, I'm on a Zoom meeting right now. Sorry. Okay, thank you. Bye. Well, the good news is I am going to get new fresh pajamas, I hope, by the end of today, if my washing machine. Okay, so apologize for that. Now, we're going to get to very specific suggestions for you about getting your home ready for sale. So the kitchen. Okay, here's your to-do list. We're going to send this out to you, so don't worry about scrambling, but I just want to create a picture of a kitchen. What's the purpose of the kitchen? It's to create food for family, right? But we really don't want all of the accoutrement that we typically keep out for convenience being part of your photos. It is very visually distracting. So we want to keep everything cleared off to see long sight lines of countertops, not obstructed by coffee maker and toaster and blender and mix master, like all of that. No, what I usually say to my clients is that you can have one thing, maybe two at the very most, because we really want to show it clean and decluttered. Same thing with curtains that you have over this kitchen sink. Unless you absolutely must go around and protect your privacy, I really like taking those curtains down because it allows so much more light into the house. And I never want to see even things like tea towels on the handle of the stove or the fridge or any of that. So just, I want you to think as clean and decluttered and all the knickknacks off the wall as much as possible. Okay, so that's a kitchen example. Now, this is a real life example. All of the examples you're going to be seeing are from properties we've staged this year. Okay, so this is this year. This kitchen had a big wooden 6-seater table. And right down the back there is the dining room. You don't need both. So we rented the glass table. This is a smaller one to even emphasize the spaciousness. And along this blank wall here was a bookshelf of just recipe books and the bread maker and like just a whole bunch of just clutter and junk. So we moved all of that down to the basement. We kept the bar stools because we wanted to show the functionality of that little breakfast bar there. And we brought in a very neutral, clear glass table. And the other thing that you can't see, we'll notice that there's quite a bit of natural light behind this picture, that those are sliding glass doors. So again, we didn't want to block the access to the sliding glass door, and it did before. Okay, so this is a great example of what to do. You'll notice that we did allow her to keep her toaster oven there, but everything else was tucked under or away, especially for picture day. Like, I'm not that fanatical that if you need your coffee maker back out after we've gotten the photographs, but especially on photograph day, we've got no rugs in front of the stove. We've got nothing hanging on the walls. Just, we want it to be as big and spacious as possible because this is actually quite a tiny kitchen. Okay, so let's talk about bathrooms. The quickest hack is to replace everything with white because visually it's neutral and it recedes into the background. So if you have a patterned shower curtain, that's what your eye is drawn to. If you have colorful towels, that is what your eye is drawn to. What we tend to do is take everything out that reminds us of bodily functions. We don't want to know that you're there for a shower or to brush your teeth. We just want it all put away. I get the dollar store baskets. I put everything, maybe a basket for every person, and tuck it under the sink so that we're not looking and saying, oh, I use Pearl shampoo too. Okay. We just want the bathroom to sit as clean and empty and spa-like as possible. That's what we're always doing with the white towels, white fluffy towels, white shower curtain, no bath mat, no toilet seat cover. We just tuck it all away so that it doesn't feel like we are intruding in somebody's most personal space, which we kind of are. Okay, so we don't want to do that. And just a cheap and cheerful update of light fixtures can do a lot in a bathroom. I'm going to give you an example here. So this is the bathroom, obviously, of a house that was built in the late 80s. It had oak, yellowy, kind of orangey oak cabinets with little round pulls. And my homeowners very wisely painted it out in a nice neutral shade of a taupey gray. They took down the Hollywood light. You can't see it, like, the bulbs. You can't see it in this picture, but they replaced it with a more modern light fixture. And we took down everything that was patterned and just used white towels everywhere. And it just looked so much fresher and cleaner. If it had been my druthers, which it wasn't, those curtains also would have come down. But they actually wanted some privacy in their washroom. Go figure. So you can see that by just a simple swapping out of color, of hardware, a little bit in terms of the lighting, we were able really to take this quite dated bathroom and make it look at least neutral. I mean, it's not super luxurious, but at least it's not, offensive. Okay, so there's bathrooms. Any questions? At any point, please ask your questions in the chat box and we'll make sure we leave enough time for them. Okay, so I hope you know how to access the chat box. I welcome your comments, your questions. So this is for bathrooms: clean, neutral, no reminder that we go and use this. Okay. And the master bedroom. Now, this is a term that is gradually fading from popularity. We're usually calling it the principal bedroom, the primary bedroom, whatever. The master having, I guess, some sexist overtones as well. But we really want to emphasize the bedroom as a place of retreat, especially for your younger buyers who are looking at this as a place to escape the kids. Don't tell me you were there. But now we want to take anything that is not bedroom out of that space. So if it is a rowing machine or a computer, and you already know how I feel about TVs, all of that, so that we are just there for the sleeping. And in this case, look at this. You're going to see this. We also have this sitting area. And so this is a huge master bedroom, obviously. This is actually the bedroom that goes with the bathroom from the previous listing. You'll notice that we have the blinds completely up. We want to shed as much light on this as possible. They had some other occasional tables and wooden tables and things. We've swapped all of that out for shiny metal and glass just because it is so much more neutral. And the dominant feature of this room is the king size bed. And so we made sure that that was dressed very luxuriously with throws and pillows and all of that, really emphasizing the luxury, but otherwise clean, stripped down, quite bare. I like this far better than the over decorated stylings that I see some stagers use. This is why I use this stager over and over again, is because I like her aesthetic. It's the right balance between neutral and luxurious without being too over the top. We've seen some places where it's like, why put one candle when you can put 7? I don't like that any better than I like the clutter that was originally there. Okay, so again, master bedrooms, we're pulling down the heavy curtains, letting the sunshine in, swapping out lamps. That's a very, very easy update. A lot of us have lamps with shades that are like this, where the current style of lamp shade is more like a barrel. That's the current right now. So just doing that, you can keep the same lamp, but change the shade. And oh my goodness, it makes a huge update. Any questions, please ask. So all the bedrooms, we want to make sure that we are neutralizing wherever we can. And don't worry, we're going to bring color back in with throw cushions or, you know, accessories, but we try to neutralize. I'm just going to show you. So we have neutralized the wall color just so that it doesn't dissuade somebody, or you know, we want to pull down any of the red flags. We don't want them looking and saying, oh my gosh, that house, every room has to be painted. We really just neutral so that they can imagine themselves moving in. And you're also going to see that we changed the position of the bed. I never like it when a bed is up against the wall. I think that we always want to pivot it so that we are looking at the foot of the bed from the door frame, if possible. Sometimes that's not possible. I get it. But if possible, you take your bed, and if you stand at your door and you're looking at the foot of the bed rather than along the side of it, it just photographs so much better. We can help you with this kind of consultation. You could actually even just send me a picture of your bedrooms or any room and say, hey, what would you do here if you were us? Okay, so I frequently go to Winners when they're open and buy the lamps there because they are a really good value, and we use them for our staging all the time. Okay, so neutralizing and also making sure that we're looking at the bed and taking out the things that are not bedroomy. Okay, dining room. If I'm going to tell you to spend any time at all getting your house ready for sale, the main floor is what sells homes. So the dining room is a very infrequently used room, but it has a lot of visual importance. Like, if you think of how many times you use your living room, if you have a separate eating kitchen, lots of times your dining room is not being used on a frequent basis, and it tends to be, it gets overcrowded over time. It gets busier and busier and busier in there. But what I'm going to ask you to do is to edit, to pull everything down to the minimum. So if you have a dining room table that has 2 leaves in it so that it can sit all 25 of your relatives, let's pull out that leaf. Let's shrink down the table, and we're just going to have either 4 or as a maximum 6 chairs around it. No, you know, the 8 chairs, not necessary. It tends to make it difficult to pass through. It fills up the room. Same thing with your china cabinet. My china cabinet, like, listen, I'm preaching to the choir here. My china cabinet has a whole bunch of stuff in it, kind of stacked willy-nilly. My teacups and, you know, all that. We're going to pull everything out of it except for the very best. Now, I want you to think of a china cabinet. Usually it has 2 shelves and it has 2 doors. So there are 9 holes to fill. You get what I mean? So I want you to think of one thing in each of those quadrants. That's the ideal. Sometimes we cluster a few related things together. If you've got some nice crystal, anything shiny or blingy, we really like in the china cabinets, anything that is colored, that's going to draw your eye to it, we tend to put away. Okay, so you're going to have to pack to move anyways. Why not do it when it's going to maximize the value of your home? So take out the leaf, reduce it down to 4 chairs, and I usually pull up the area rug. Why? Not that I don't like your rug. If we do have a rug, it's going to be a very light and neutral one. I'm going to show you an example. Let's look at this example here. We have used the client's basic furnishing pieces. So we've got the cherry Duncan Fife style or federal style leg there. We've got the china cabinet, and then we've got the buffet over here. We kept those 3 big pieces, but then we brought in lighter, brighter, more modern accessories. So those chairs we brought in, that carpet we brought in, and what you can't see is that we we took down all of their artwork and we brought in abstract art that was much more neutral, a little bit sparkly. And what you can't see, but is over the hutch or the buffet there, it is a nice big mirror. I love mirrors in dining rooms because they help to reflect the light, and they are, they're neutral in terms of people's taste for artwork. So usually, and in this case, Melissa, my operations coordinator, who was on this call with us today here, Melissa, we took down probably 75 pieces of art in this house. It was like every wall has 3 or 4 holes in it, and we put them in their crawl space. We wrapped them up in bubble wrap so that the stagers could come in and just, neutralize. So they had acquired pieces that were very meaningful to them. They were photos of holidays or pictures, whatever. But that's not what your buyer is interested in. What they want to see is just very, very neutral, plain. Okay, so there's your dining room. We took down the curtains. You can actually see the brackets still there. When I pulled out the bracket the first time, I was literally up on a step ladder pulling down the bracket. There was chocolate brown paint behind it, and we were on a tight timeline, so we actually left the brackets in. And I'm going to tell you, I don't think anybody noticed or decided they wouldn't buy the house. Sorry, we were going to buy it, but those brackets. So we just took this room and we modernized it by bringing in just a few items. Okay, so do you like that? Yeah, this is way lighter. Oh, and the china cabinet. We had another woman with us who was helping out, and she just packed all their china, and we left one thing or two things on each shelf to like nice wine glasses, the best. Okay, so front entrance. We can forget that the first impression is made even before the potential buyers walk through your house. So don't forget to pay attention. This is one of my my little bit of a pet peeve, is that people come into your front foyer and there's all kinds of stuff still, boots and umbrella stands and benches. And I know, practically speaking, we like those things. It's easy for us. But as much as possible, we want to clear the floor, including area rugs. I don't love welcome mats, especially for the photography. We have to put them back to protect your floors when showing starts, but we take everything out of the front hall. And again, we take down the art and put up a mirror, and usually like a little demi table where the realtors can leave their cards. Oh, and a nice vase of fresh flowers. It's a very welcoming but clean and opened up space. And when we are looking at closets, the front hall closet, one of the things we like to be able to see is to the back of the closet. So I go to the dollar store and I get those pop-up fabric baskets. We put all of the mitts and gloves and hats and scarves in them, line them up. They even now have patterned ones at Walmart that have pictures of Paris and all this, like very, very nice, but they look way better than, things stacked up inside the closet. We want to look to the back of the closet if possible. So typically we ask you to take your non-seasonal clothing out of it and put it away. So now this is an example of where right from the beginning, we are creating a positive first impression. Believe it or not, we staged this porch. This is all rented furniture. This was not the client's furniture. We rented these things. We brought in the accessories there. There's some little turquoise lanterns at the base of 2 huge planters that I get from my favorite Terra Garden Center every year. And actually I bought these planters, and they went to, I think, 3 or 4 different properties that we listed this summer. And I just kept feeding them and watering them and moving them. And it really is so much welcoming. So don't forget about setting that first positive impression right from the get-go. Okay, so I think this is a huge potential business idea of staging exteriors. I think that would be a lot of fun. And actually there was another porch along the side of it, and we staged that as well. So as I said, the exterior is the first time you get to encounter your potential buyer, and it requires a bit of your attention. $1 million house with a rusty mailbox. I see this all the time, and I just think it speaks to the level of maintenance of the home in general, that people start to create some assumptions about the value even before they've crossed your threshold. So if it's a matter of getting the cobwebs out of your light fixture by your door, or changing it out for something a little more contemporary, like the builders really, they scrimp on those when they build the houses. So if you still have your original 1979 light fixture out front, the little jam jar, maybe it's time to consider replacing that. We also want to make sure that the front door and the garage door, all of those are in good working order, so that potential red flags are avoided. Okay, so let's have a look at that. This is an exterior space that we also staged, just to show the function of it, that it was a blank canvas, so to speak, but really a high value living area. It was right off the kitchen. So what you can't see is just behind us is the barbecue, and it steps down to the big yard. So we just wanted to show it off in its best light. So we brought in tropical planters, tropical themed pillows, some nice, even a nice vase or two out there. Again, just to show what the possibility is. I realize you can't do that so well now, but here is a big, big tip. If you are thinking of potentially listing your home for sale a year from now, give us a shout out and we will send our photographer in the summer, and they will capture those nice exterior photographs while everything is lush and green. Especially if you have a pool, we want to get those photographs while the pool is open, so that you can sell your house anytime and not worry about that. I've had clients who were listing right at the end of like April, beginning of May, and they ended up opening their pool early so that the photographs would look the best. But that's my offer to you. If you have a house to sell in the next 12 months and you're thinking, well, I'm not going to be ready this spring, but maybe next, give us a shout out and we'll make sure we send our photographer to capture those very top quality exterior shots. Because, you know, right now everything looks kind of unwelcoming compared to this, right? So that's an offer I want to make for you, is that we'll always do your exterior photography when it suits you best. And just to think of the whole home. And a great hack, this is what I like doing. I go through, and I've been on staging consultations with people, and they give me resistance. They don't really think it's necessary or whatever. And I just take up my cell phone and I stand at the door and I take a picture. And it really captures what your buyers would see. And that is usually a lot more stuff than you need. What is your eye drawn to? It's not the nice granite countertop. It's, you know, the tea towel hanging on the stove or the red curtains over the sink. So this is a great do-it-yourself exercise, and you can go room by room, take a picture from the door and see what needs to be shifted, what needs to be edited, and maybe some of the things that you can be adding now over time. So definitely it's about pulling up the big curtains, and lots of the area rugs are going to go away, and rearranging furniture to accommodate groups of people, and to make sure that you've got long, unbroken sight lines wherever possible. That's why we took off like 75 pictures from that house, was because it just kept breaking the wall up. Not because we didn't like their art, but just because it's not the best way to sell a house. Okay, questions, comments? Okay. So I just want to show you what we're trying to do. Whoopee. This is what we're trying to do. This is literally a property we have for sale right now, right today. It's not about bragging on us. It's about, this is the goal. Okay, this is what we're aiming for in all of our hard work and all of your hard work. It's not a make work project, it's a make money project. So I just lost my little, okay, ready? It might be loud, so be warned, I'm not sure. Okay, so that's what we're trying to create for you, with you. We partner with you. It's not like, oh, bye, you know, come back when your house is done. We work with you to do it. Like I said, we were there packing up pictures and rearranging furniture, but it's really so key because now we've got this amazing lookbook that we're sending it to realtors. We're putting it on social media. It's going out to email like a ton of people. And we know that that's going to get our clients the best result. And remember what that is, the highest price in the quickest time. It's the only thing that matters. Okay, so, stop. Sorry. Okay, so let's get going. And I want to make an offer for you before we round up, and then also see if there are any questions that we can do. Great ideas about cost-effective improvements, some of which I've referenced. I'm just going to let you see the list that we have here. Most of the time, we're looking for builder's beige throughout the house, the exception perhaps being your front door. That's the only thing, not the garage door, but the front door. Okay, I like a little bit of a splash of color of the front door, but even if you just repaint it white, it makes it look so much cleaner and takes care of the dings. So there are some things you can do that are not free, but they are very cost effective. They give you a good bang for the buck, especially repainting cabinets. Wow, that is transformational. So we've talked this a little bit in the process of our conversation here. I'm going to say that decluttering is the most important thing you can do. Even if you were to not do any of these other things, decluttering is going to get you the best return on your investment of time, for sure. If you don't like your bathtub or it's looking beat up, there's great low cost options. I know that like the bathtub refitter companies are quite expensive. I was actually shocked. A client just had a bathtub insert and it was like $8,000. I was shocked because the base model is like $5,000 and then every single thing is more money. So I think that there are some other options out there. And really we're just, okay, pardon the expression, but we're really just putting lipstick on this, right? We just want to get it sold and make sure that it's functioning. We're not, you know, not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes, but we really don't want to spend money unless we have to. That's my mantra in life, in real estate. So if you are interested in moving your home from everyday living to something that is more towards the styled and staged end of things, I would love to have a consultation with you. We just do it by Zoom or by cell phone. You just, you know, we get hooked up on Facebook Messenger, whatever you are comfortable with, or you can just even send me photographs and I'll give you my realtor's eye perspective on what you should do and what you probably shouldn't waste time or money on doing. Okay, I know the market is super, super hot, but there are also an increasing number of properties coming to market, and we want to make sure that yours holds its own amongst the contribution, amongst the competition. So I'm so sorry about the phone call from Unionville Alliance. I apologize, but I want to make sure that we get together. Will we be getting the link towards our booklet? Yes, all of the resources will be coming to you, and we make sure that we are taking good care of you, okay? We also are branching out and partnering up with a really amazingly smart young woman named Leora Jagger, who is a wealth advisor at Scotia Wealth Management. So many of us are counting, at least to some degree, on the equity in our homes to be able to downsize and to retire. So she and I have a great comprehensive overview. I guess that's kind of an oxymoron, isn't it? It's not comprehensive. It's an overview of some of the options to really increase your retirement fund. Because like right now, if you're sitting in a 3 or a 4 bedroom house in anywhere around Toronto, you're a millionaire. But you know, this does not buy me a cruise. Being able to take the bricks and mortar that we have been investing in all the way along, now this is the time where we might decide to cash out and really live the retirement that we want. And nobody can define that for you. My job isn't to prescribe an outcome for you. It is simply to give you the options. And she's really good at giving you the options. And I think I'm pretty good at it too. So what is it that downsizing could possibly do? How about even a new idea that I've had recently is downsizing to invest in another property that you're not planning to live in. Ooh, I like this. Because a lot of us, myself included, I don't have a terrific pension to fall back on, but to have a passive source of income where you take the difference between what you sell, what you buy for yourself, and then you also buy something else that's going to create income for you. Oh, I think this is a fantastic idea. So I hope you'll join us and you can register. When we send you out this PowerPoint, it's also going to have all of the links. And then we are all over social media. We have our Facebook page. You are welcome to message me through that. We also have our web page at the bottom there, our email, Instagram, LinkedIn. We really try very hard to keep out in front of the public eye so that we can leverage what we're good at, and that's sharing information. I hope you think so. So please reach out to us if you have questions or comments, either now or in the future. This isn't a time limited offer. It's not like operators are standing by and if you call in the next 3 minutes, we'll throw in a set of Ginsu knives. No, you can call me anytime, and whenever the questions pop up, I'm always available because there's nothing I like better than talking shop. So, okay, questions, comments? We love your feedback. We love to stay with you, but I also want to be appreciative of your time. Any questions? Okay. Well, you will be getting a copy of this. So thank you so much for being here today. I know that I always feel so inspired by my own talk. I think I have to go clean something now, especially since Unionville appliance is coming. I think I better go hastily see if he can even access my washing machine, since we haven't been able to do laundry for the last several days. So you know how it piles up. Okay, you are most welcome for the ideas. And if you ever get stuck on a question, please reach out and we'll be sure to help you where we can. Okay, so thank you for being here and have yourself a beautiful day. Bye for now.